as she has the experience, was on the team last year when they won the title. But they got to contend with some strong teams from WashU, from Johns Hopkins, from Wartburg, from La Crosse. Honestly, if you're in this field, you're a strong team and you have to contend. And we'll see how things play out here as they're moving through. They just went through halfway for them. They're 600 meters into this race. We're not getting lap splits, but they went 150, so you can equate that to 340 for the full 1,200 meter. So that's just under 5-minute pace for the mile, which is keeping things honest here.
We will give all of these athletes their due. From Williams, it appears, again, we're going off the information that we are provided. If we are incorrect, we apologize deeply. From Williams, this is Ginger Long. Conn College is Alexa Estes. Central College is Maddie Stevens. Kalma is Emma Waringa. Oshkosh is Emma Bowe. Johns Hopkins is Annie Wiedemeyer. Middlebury has Annalise Jensen. Amherst is Piper Lenz. Wartburg, Haley Meyer. La Crosse is Becca Immer. UChicago's Nora Holmes. And WashU's Laura Rayleigh.
Wartburg now in the lead here with WashU, and this is the fun exchange. They'll have one lap to go after they come around here, and they got to hand off to their 400-meter leg, and that's got to be timing. And then the 400-meter leg has to hand off to 800, so you got a lot of speed coming in to people that are staying still. But WashU and Wartburg right now, one lap to go on their leg, doing everything they can to keep their team in contention. Wartburg and WashU battling. We've been singing the praises of WashU mid-distance all day, and now it's time for them to showcase how great of a program they have in the mid-distance, not only this season, but in seasons prior.
Wartburg was tested, and Wartburg responded. This is a fantastic finish from Haley Meyer from Wartburg to give her team the lead going into the 400-meter leg. Wartburg in the front, WashU in second. There are a lot of athletes out here who are doubling and tripling and have tired legs, but watch out, ladies and gentlemen, because WashU is flying. You may have gotten us in the 1,200, but WashU has gone back into the lead on this 400-meter leg. Wartburg has responded, though, not really giving much more after the WashU pass, running comfortably there in second place. WashU in first, Wartburg in second, and I believe this is Johns Hopkins in third with a strong 400-meter leg starting to pull away from the rest of the field.
UChicago followed by Williams here as they move around, and once they hand off, they're going to hand off to their 800 leg. In WashU, it's going to be Kaleni Reimer, that's at least who we have on the sheet in front of us. We might just keep saying WashU so we don't get any names wrong here, as WashU has a great handoff, pulling their 400-meter leg through the exchange zone. WashU won it in 2023, last time they were on this track, and they want the magic from the track to keep happening.
And let's remember, folks, this is not a prelim. This is a final, and there is madness in these handoffs. There are 12 teams, on the track at once. WashU with a commanding lead on this 800-meter leg, about 25 meters ahead of Wartburg. Johns Hopkins really trying to claw back distance into Wartburg's second place to their third, and there is a 5-woman pack following closely behind. Right now we have WashU in the lead, Wartburg in second, Hopkins in third, but we still have a lot of running left in this race. WashU known for their middle distance prowess, their 400 and 800 meter runners. This is another in the long line of talented athletes. WashU being led right now, we believe, Kalena Reimer. Reimer right now with 2 laps remaining in this 800. Johns Hopkins done an incredible job of getting back onto the coattails of Wartburg. Wartburg in second, but beginning to stretch away a little bit from Hopkins. Hopkins and Wartburg with a good amount of distance between themselves and the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th runners who are all clustered tightly behind them in another pursuant pack. WashU right now in the front with 250 meters remaining before they hand off to the final leg, which is a 1-mile distance. WashU running in a very, very tough race, but running solo out front, running blind, and here goes Hopkins to pass Wartburg into second place with 200 meters remaining on their leg. Tired legs abound, but WashU continues to persist out front.
And we're going to get to it during this mile leg, but this is a very interesting position to be in for Wash U right now. You have a sizable lead versus Hopkins and Wartburg, and the rest of the field can kind of work together. So if you're Wash U, you just got to keep moving forward, and if someone catches you, you just jump on their shoulder and go with them. But here we go. Wash U, 1,600 meters away from another DMR national championship. But here comes Hopkins. Here comes Wartburg. Here comes Central. Here comes Chicago. Here comes Amherst.
Well, we've talked about this earlier in the day, how close things appear on the track versus how they actually are. What we are seeing now is a mere 3 seconds separating Wash U and Johns Hopkins, first from second, and Wartburg is a skosh behind Johns Hopkins. Wash U in the front right now, again running in that lonely position out front. Hopkins can smell the wind. They know what they have to do. Wash U leaving breadcrumbs behind. Here's exactly what my strategy is. Wash U in leading this race. Hopkins in second, Wartburg in third. Wartburg now comfortably on the tails of Johns Hopkins, but if they want any chance at winning a national title, they're going to need to either work together or get moving.
Something to keep an eye on here as this race continues. Obviously, Wash U is running so well right now. But keep an eye on U Chicago and Central. They got Emma Kelly and Peyton Steffen, respectively, for Chicago and Central, trying to reel in Hopkins and Wartburg as Wash U continues to lead here. I mean, the All-American battle is going to be very interesting, and Wash U is running a very courageous race. They have no one to run with. They have no one to pace off of. All they have to do is run for glory here, and Wash U, second by second, is increasing their lead as Wartburg now moves into second. Chicago and Central working together to try to get to that second and third position. 1,000 meters to go for Wash U. That's Lucinda Laughlin leading the way for the Bears.
We'll be keeping track of the splits between Wash U and the rest of the pack right now. That's looking at 8.8 seconds between Wash U and Wartburg and Hopkins. The teammates right now on the inside of the track are going to cheer on their teammates. This is the most important 800-meter leg of Laughlin's entire indoor season right now. 4 laps remain between her and a national championship. Laughlin running incredibly smooth and strong right now with all of her teammates' hopes and dreams on her shoulders, but she seems unfazed by any of it. 9:03 with 800 meters remaining. Wartburg and Hopkins are starting to get clawed back by Calvin and Central. 9:12 for the pursuant, so we're about 9 seconds back still between Wash U, Wartburg, Hopkins, Central, and Calvin. This race is going to really heat up here over the last 4 laps.
What an effort by Lucinda Laughlin of Wash U. She's a 4:51 miler, and when you put that on the anchor leg with some distance, good luck trying to catch her. She is 3 laps away from leading the Bears to another national title on this track.
And again, we're looking at not exactly sure what Lucinda's time is overall, but we're looking at the distance between her and Wartburg and Hopkins now down to below 8 seconds, 7.9 seconds with 3 laps to go. Lucinda Laughlin for Wash U enters into the bottom turn on this indoor short track. The laps are clicking by so quickly for her. I believe this is her coach who is going absolutely bonkers on the top of the turn. Lucinda Laughlin with 2 laps remaining. 10-14, 10-17, 10-18 with 2 to go. Johns Hopkins now has moved into second. Wartburg on their tail in third, but there is a big race going on between Central and Calvin behind them in 4th and 5th. There are 9 teams in contention for the top 8 spots. Who will come away with All-American and who will go home devastated? Lucinda Laughlin with 300 meters to go has really started to light it up on this track at the Crossplex in Birmingham, Alabama. Lucinda Laughlin approaching the bell lap.
What an effort. We talked about kind of her being in this weird position of having no one to run with, no one to key off of, and she is just getting stronger by the second here. And we're going to have a battle here for second between Wartburg and Johns Hopkins. Emma Kelly of Chicago, Peyton Steffen of Central going to be battling, but it's been all Wash U today in this DMR. Lucinda Laughlin going to take another title. Something about the Bears on this Birmingham track that reigns supreme. You can't deny Wash U a DMR title. You can't deny them anything. It's Wash U Bears for the title, and here comes Johns Hopkins for second. Can they hold off Wartburg? They will. La Crosse in fourth, Central in fifth, and UChicago stumbles for sixth place as Wash U runs away with it and runs a new D3 record. A new D3 record for Wash U.
What a race. Lucinda Laughlin, you said she's a 4:51 miler. She closed by herself, running on pure guts, 4:48 for her closing anchor leg to bring the Bears another national championship in the DMR, and their names eternally etched as meet record holders.
Wow. They're 2 for 2 in Birmingham, Alabama for DMR titles, and now add a national record to their resume. What a mid-distance program. We hyped them up the first time we saw their milers on the track, and they have not disappointed so far today. And that's a huge 10 points for the team chances for this weekend. The Bears are coming in as the favorites, favored with 51.5 points, and that does a big number for them here to kick things off as we head to tomorrow's final.
And I gotta acknowledge Emma Kelly emptying the tank for her team out there on the track, stumbling across the finish line, nothing left, not 1 ounce left to give. She just absolutely ran herself into the ground.
And that's what you want from a DMR. You know, we have athletes scratching their individual events to go for glory with their team. So
here, right now.
They want it all. They want it all, and they will do it for each other. Watching her give that type of effort is what you want out of your athlete if you're a coach. Kudos to Emma Kelly. She had a huge leg in Virginia Beach. We're going to jump over to the pole vault here really quickly before we do the men's DMR here to catch you up to speed on what's happening in the men's pole vault. It's Colin Kao versus Mitchell Davis. Colin Kao has cleared the 5-2-3 bar. Mitchell Davis has not. Mitchell Davis is down to his final attempt here at 5-2-3.
And here goes Davis as he approaches the pit. Not to be today, but a valiant effort. What an incredible